Great. So thank you so much, everyone, for putting those answers in the chat. We had a question while we're waiting for everyone to come on in of what was the last green vegetable, fruit or vegetable that you ate. So thank you for putting that in the chat. I want to welcome you all here. So we talked about green briefly, but we want to eat all the colors of the rainbow to really feel our best. When we feel our best, we feel more motivated. So let me introduce myself and the program. So today we're here on behalf of Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. So thank you so much for having us here. Our topic is motivating yourself for wellness. And I'm Trisha Silverman. I'm a registered dietitian, fitness and yoga instructor, a wellness coach, and an author. And my email is trisha@trishasilverman.co. And let's start by chatting about 5 ways to change your mindset. And this is according to Tony Robbins. So if we're looking to be motivated, let's go to someone who really may be the ultimate motivator of all times. He has studied motivation for years. So what he talks about is how mindset is the belief, values, and attitudes that you hold about yourself and the world. So think about yourself. Is your mindset more negative or positive? We can move it in that more positive direction. What I found from working with clients is that it's easier to change your health habits when you come from a place of positivity. And if you're not feeling so positive, we want to move you in that direction. So try not to let negative experiences affect your state of mind. And we want to go from a fixed to a growth mindset. What that means is that when we have failures or make mistakes, rather than looking at that as an end point, look at that as a beginning. And what can you learn from that failure or that mistake? That's a growth mindset. And it keeps us in a more positive mind frame so that we can move beyond failures. Now, as we move along today, if you could put any questions you have in the chat, and I will do my best to get to them. And let's move along and we'll talk about those 5 ways to change your mindset, according to Tony. So what he says is that we want to challenge limiting beliefs. Your thoughts are stories that you tell yourself. They're not necessarily true or serving you in a good way. So we really may just need to change our thoughts. And he also recommends facing your fears, shifting your perspective, changing your self-talk, and then get support. So he actually runs many different programs. Would it be fun to do one of his programs? Maybe you need a coach, a wellness coach, or a life coach, or a dietitian, or seeing a personal trainer. So what type of support do you need to make a team for you that can really support you in your health and wellness and in your life moving forward? An attitude of gratitude is really helpful in becoming more positive. What is it? Well, it's being appreciative for what we have rather than feeling bad about what we don't have. It can improve your health, strengthen your immune system, balance your emotions, and may even help you to lose weight if you're looking for weight management. An attitude of gratitude can help replace negative with positive habits. So one habit that you can think about doing is gratitude upon awakening. So when you wake up, think about, what are you grateful for? You have a new day that you can change parts of you can change the world. So it's a different outlook, a way to start the day rather than thinking of, everything that you have to do or thinking of something negative. So being appreciative in the morning or writing about it in a gratitude journal. So maybe it's 5 things you're grateful for. Every day you can write that, and you can try to look for new things every day. And it can be, I was thinking today when I was thinking about my own gratitude, yesterday I went into a CVS where I got stuck at the self-checkout for a really long time. and one of the workers came over and was so apologetic for not being there. They were short-staffed due to the snow we had yesterday. And he was just so kind and nice. And I'm just really appreciative of how kind and nice conversation after that. So there are small things we can look at that really can make us feel good. And that kindness that he shared that I noticed, I just really appreciate that today. So what do you appreciate, and what small acts of kindness can you do that maybe can really spark kindness in other people? And all that goes around and can really make us feel really good. Okay, let's move along. And I have some stories sprinkled in that I think can be really helpful. So this is a mother and daughter pair that were highlighted in a People magazine, one of those half their size issues a few years back. So this mother-daughter team has each lost 100 pounds. So Hillary, which is the daughter, she developed a program that now helps other people to lose weight. And we'll talk about some of their strategies. And you can see here that you're never too old to make change. So her mom in her later 50s and early 60s, went through, this transformation to lose all of this weight. So how did they do it? They joined health support groups. So what support groups might be helpful for you? Another support person can be a therapist on that team of you, right? They paid attention to food and they logged it on Lose It. Another great app is MyFitnessPal. They gained an understanding and appreciation for calories. Now we're talking about a lot of strategies today, so take what you want. With many clients, having an app to help you figure out how much you're eating and kind of and empowering. It's a tool that for some people can be really useful, and for them, they loved Lose It. Another thing they did is that they replaced treat food with foods that have healthy fats. They created systems and routines. So one of the routines that one of my clients does is that when she gets home from work, she switches right away into workout clothes. This way she's ready for either a run or for a trip to the gym or for some time on her treadmill. She's ready for whatever may come next. So is that something you can do? And maybe not having systems and routines has been getting in your way. So we may want to create more systems and routines. This works in businesses as well. Also focused on healthier sources of vegetables, fresh fruit, whole grains, and fiber, and really made them feel good. They set goals for protein, carbs, and fat, also known as macros. Dietitians have been figuring out macros for years. We just never had a cool term or cool lingo to use around it. And macros now is really popular. So your dietitian can still help you to figure that out. And again, that's your percentages and grams of protein, carbs, and fat. They set small, manageable goals. And Hillary started her journey with walking, and then she progressed to running and then 5Ks. She also started strength training in her basement, and her mom walked and did spin classes for exercise. Now, one of my clients is Jen, and I met Jen through an 8-week employee wellness program that I was doing, and she lost over 52 pounds in her weight loss journey. So some of the things that helped to motivate her, and not only helped to motivate her, but helped her to stay motivated, she committed to trying 1 or 2 new recipes per month. So I'm going to stop sharing for a moment and just tell you about a couple of books that can be really helpful. So the Complete Salad Cookbook, yay, that's a really nice cookbook, and it was developed by the America's Test Kitchen. Really great salad recipes, great pictures in there. You might really like that. Another fun plant-based cookbook is fiber fueled. So that's another one that you might really like. So you may want to give those a try. Okay, let me share again. And just give me one moment. Okay. All right. So another thing she did, she also logged her food. She used an app. And again, I recommend MyFitnessPal or Lose It. She happened to stay between 13 and 1500 calories without feeling hungry, but that would vary. For you, it may be a little higher than that. And that is based on your height, your weight, your gender, your age, activity level, and your weight loss goals. I use bmrcalculator.org because they use predictive equations that dietitians use. It's a little shortcut to figure out how many calories do you need now for weight maintenance? And then we subtract from there and we create a calorie deficit either through food and or exercise. And it's 250 calories a day to lose half a pound a week and 500 calories a day deficit to lose a pound a week. And that's what dietitians can help you to figure out. She also planned her meals on Saturdays and prepped on Sundays. So she would make batches of food that then would be easily available to reheat or take along with her to work on the following days. She joined a CSA, which is community supported agriculture. That's where you buy a share of a farm's produce. And you get either weekly or bi-weekly boxes of all different kinds of vegetables and fruits. Some even have flowers. You can find one in your area by going to localharvest.org. They've become really popular. Another thing she did, she cut out junk food and made fruit her go-to snack, similar to the mother-daughter team we spoke about. She made cooking at home a routine. So remember, routines are really important. She set fitness and water goals. I find with many of my clients, once they set a water goal, and the recommendations are around 72 ounces for women a day. And so that's 9 cups a day of fluid for women, 13 cups a day of fluid for men. So once you set a water goal and aim to keep increasing to get up to those amounts, then other health habits more easily come along. That's what I found. It's really interesting. And she followed the nutritious healthy eating staircase. At that time, when she followed the staircase, it was a figment of my imagination that I would share with people. So I would talk about a staircase. And then when I wrote my book, I actually developed a staircase. And here it is. So this is the way I think about nutrition, that we're all on the nutrition staircase. And the staircase never ends, even for nutritionists and health fanatics. We could always take another step. We can learn new recipes, learn about other cultures and the healthy food that they eat, read research. So the bottom of like a 1 would be, are you eating a lot of ice cream, cake, donuts, cookies, white bread, hot dogs? That would be a candy, red meat. That would be a 1. And then if we now switch to more whole grains, then we're taking a step. And then maybe we vary whole grains and we try things like quinoa or millet and we keep taking steps up. Maybe we start eating more vegetables. Maybe at some point we consider more organic foods. Maybe then we decide we're going to make more foods from the home. So there's steps that we can take. So where are you on the nutrition staircase? And what step can you take to improve your nutrition? When we eat better, we feel better. Okay, let's move along. So things we can do to eat better. Well, we can clean up our diet. We can think about clearing out artificial sugars, colors, flavors, preservatives, really just eating food in its most natural state. We can think about cutting back on sugar and refined carbohydrates like white bread and white pasta, and decreasing or avoiding alcohol. This can make us feel better. And when we feel good, we feel more motivated. In fact, there's research that shows after 13 days of eating more fruits and vegetables, people feel like they're flourishing. And I want you to feel like you're flourishing. So you can focus on more plant-based foods. When we eat more plants, it makes our intestinal environment thrive. And when the good bacteria in our intestines thrive, we make more serotonin, which is a feel-good chemical. So we want to decrease animal foods, particularly red meat, pork, beef, and lamb, and go fat-free and low-fat when selecting dairy. The evidence still leads to that. And then consider trying the apps that I spoke about and reading nutrition books. Think about eating every 3 to 4 hours to stay energized. Some people experiment with intermittent fasting, and if you do, then this may look a little bit different for you. But in general, eating every 3 to 4 hours can keep you energized, and it really provides glucose to your brain, and that's the food for your brain, so that you just feel good and you're really ready to take on challenges. If we're looking for weight management, we want to keep portions small. Eating mindfully is great for everyone. It's really good for your digestion to slow things down, really enjoy your meals, chew your food well, and build foods that you enjoy in portion controlled quantities. So we talked about minimizing the junky food, but I'm not saying you have to cut that all out. We can have small amounts of it. And, when you're able to have them, some people do better without, or really by limiting those sugary types of foods in particular. And then think about having a good source of protein at each meal, like fish, beans, chicken, turkey, Greek yogurt, nuts, and seeds. This can help you to feel full and really can help to sustain your energy levels, along with some amounts of carbohydrate and healthy fat that can really keep you feeling full longer and feeling energized. So what about daily motivation? Limit the news. That can really be helpful. Stay connected to people that are positive and motivate you. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily cut them out. Maybe it's a family member that you talk on the phone with them every day and it's kind of negative. Well, maybe now you space it out. It doesn't have to be every day, right? Here's something that I learned about in the commencement speech when I graduated from Babson. And the speaker said that her dad shared with her that if you take a shower, that's just something real minimal you can do that can really help you to feel a whole lot better. And it does. So think about get up, get showered, get dressed. If you're not doing that, if you've been working from home for, since the pandemic, maybe we're not doing that as much. And that's something that can help. And I finished up my yoga certification recently, and we learned, ancient yoga philosophy, which is about being clean and living in a more cleaner environment, reducing your possessions and getting rid of clutter may be really freeing and helpful. So, something to think about. The other thing is to make to-do lists for home and for work projects. One app that I love is the Todoist app. And one of my clients uses the reminder function on the phone along with Siri. So we're using technology now to give her reminders. So yesterday we spoke about setting a goal, and she's going to use that function on the phone, that reminder function, to remind her to take an exercise class this week. So maybe you can use that reminder, a little bell or sound, as motivation. So something to think about, and think about Todoist. That app is really helpful in writing down and entering everything that you need to do and then breaking it into projects. One thing that we may not be doing enough is setting aside time to think and plan. So you're listening to this as we go along. How about when we're done, can you take 5 or 10 minutes to just sit and think? Digest what we spoke about. What are your takeaways? What made sense to you that you want to do? So take time to think so that we can really digest that information and make it happen. Now, many people do this by having a planning power hour someday during the week, perhaps on Saturday. On that day, you can sit and think about what you need to do, what you want to work out, what's serving you and what isn't. So you can set exercise dates into your calendar, plan a day to shop each week, Plan what days you'll cook, and maybe you'll make batches of food so that you don't have to cook the following few days, and you can pull from those batches of food, such as a batch of brown rice, a batch of broccoli, and a batch of chicken. We can pull from that in subsequent days, and then we don't have to cook every day, and we can change up the spices each day to make it seem a little different. And then we can set goals. And we'll get back to goal setting because it's really important to write it down so that it's one step in actually making it happen. Now, let's talk about motivating yourself to exercise. So we can partner up. So we can find an accountability partner or a coach. Maybe it's a neighbor or coworkers that we can walk with, for example. Another thing that's motivating for exercise is music, playing your favorite music. What did you listen to as a teen? I listen to music that's called freestyle music. When I put that on, it makes me want to dance and move. What makes you want to move? Make it easy, have workout clothes and sneakers ready to go. Maybe you have an extra pair that you keep at work with you. And then find something that you like to do. Try new activities. Maybe you want to try line dancing or belly dancing or some online program or video. Yoga with Adriene is a great yoga YouTube channel, and it's free. She has wonderful, wonderful yoga sessions. And then other things we can do is set up a minimum time to exercise. Maybe we buy new clothes or sneakers or new gear. Check out Five Below because they have some weights there that are inexpensive and some other exercise gear. Maybe you want to buy a new one of those watches, like an Apple Watch that can help to track your runs, for example, and your heart rate. And maybe we want to have a goal. So maybe it's a Fitbit watch, like I said, or the Apple. And maybe we have a goal to run a 5K or a 10K, or maybe we like yoga so much that we set a goal to become an instructor. If you go on active.com, you can find live or virtual races. That's been very motivating for many of my clients to set a goal to do a 5K. Another one of my clients is Athena. And what Athena, her recommendations are, don't let one bad day of eating spiral into longer stretches. The faster you get back on track, the easier it is. Stay busy. Have a coach. Talking to someone gives you an outlet and helps you be accountable to someone. And then what are other things you can do to take care for yourself? Make time to do things that make you happy. Budget for a new outfit or another type of reward. Spend time with people who make you feel good. Get your sleep. Seek professional help when needed. Access support groups when needed. Attend your health screenings regularly. Do stress reduction activities such as meditation. Now, a vision board can be helpful. So you can have areas for your board, such as relationships, mind and body, career and jobs, fun experiences, material goods, and nutrition. So here's an example. And a vision board is a visual representation of what you want in the future. This is one of my clients' vision boards. You see there are words on there that are inspiring, all kinds of pictures. She's an artist, so you'll see a lot of things related to art on there. And here's, just want to show you an example of, this is a vision board I developed years ago. And many of the things I put on here come to fruition in one way or another. And I'll give an example. I put yoga on here and a picture of a yoga instructor. And this year, I finished my certification. So I truly believe in the power of vision boards. And they're fun to make as well. And it is very motivating. Okay, let me share my screen and we will move along. And oops, here we go. Okay, mantras may be helpful. So such as having a mantra. One of the people from an employee wellness program I taught at said, "This is the year of me." Rebel Wilson, she declared 2020 as her year of health. And this actress lost over 60 pounds that year. Maybe it's something like change how you eat before what you eat, or a treat doesn't have to be something that you eat. How about I am breathing in, I am breathing out. And that refers to meditation, which is exercise for your mind. I have found meditation to be very motivational. You can simply use an app like Insight Timer, my favorite meditation app, and you can put in the word motivation, and it'll come up with meditations that help you to become more motivated. I use this, and I have used that word. I've used other words in there. Maybe it's something you're going through. If you're going through maybe having work stress or you're dealing with grief, you can put those words in there and find meditation to help you through that. So what you want to think about in that time you take for yourself is, what's your 3-month vision? Where do you want to be 3 months from now? Do you want to lose a certain amount of weight? Do you want to be exercising more? Do you want to be sleeping better? And then write down your goals. They're more likely to be obtained than an unwritten goal. Be specific and realistic and time-bound in your goals. And then we want to take inspired action. So that's when we have a to-do list or a timer like we spoke about earlier. So it might be you set a timer. I like to set a timer in the kitchen, 30 minutes. I'm going to do dishes and clean up, and I'm going to dance or march while I do that. So I multitask my exercise. And then Jack Canfield of the Chicken Soup for the Soul series, and he's one of the best success coaches in the world. What he recommends that you do to take action on your goals are 4 steps. And while we talk about those, we're finishing up in a couple of minutes. I don't see any questions here, but if you do have any, please put them in the Q&A and I'm happy to answer them. Okay, so Jack Canfield recommends eliminating all excuses, and I find that's a great one. There's a man in my town, one of my neighbors, and he lost over 100 pounds in 1 year, and he found a coach, and his coach said, I'll work with you, but you have to agree to no excuses. And it's one of the things he cites that helped him to lose weight. He just really started to say, no more excuses. So think about, for you, are you making excuses? And maybe we just want to do away with excuses. Number 2 is really important. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Start now. It doesn't have to be perfect, whatever you're trying to achieve. You don't have to perfectly do it. Just start today. What's some little baby step you can take today? So that would be that first step. And maybe you have a treadmill at home that you haven't been using in a long time. Maybe the first step today is just cleaning off the treadmill. Is it a clothes rack? And then maybe tomorrow we get on there. And I've done that many times with clients. We just do baby steps. We make a goal that we just do 5 minutes on the treadmill today or tomorrow. That's it. So small baby steps that get you in the movement again of getting on that treadmill or taking a 5-minute walk outside. You may notice it feels so great. Now you do 10 minutes. And then his last recommendation is to fail forward faster. So as we spoke about with Tony Robbins, don't worry about failure. Use it as a learning opportunity. This is a growth mindset. Everyone fails. And if we can learn from our failures and move on quickly, and we'll just experience more of what life has to offer rather than getting stuck and feeling bad that we failed. Learn from it and move on. What can you do the next time to prevent that from happening? All right, so I want to thank you so much for being here today. The last little thought I want to leave you with is, don't forget to shop for and eat a rainbow. So lots of different fruits and vegetables really truly can help us to feel good. All right, my email is Trisha@trishasilverman.com. I'm looking in the Q&A and I don't see any questions there. Let me double check on the chat. And I don't see any questions there. I just see some other lovely things. We were asking in the beginning, what green veggies have you eaten? And I see a lot of variety there. So yes, get your green, but we also want to eat the rainbow as well. So thank you everyone for being here today. I hope I see you again at another program in the future. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.